These two former world champs alongside me, Sean Porter and Paulie Malignaggi, who are going to be joining me for all of Fight Week here in Sydney. So good to see the two of you. Row, row. Yeah. I was joking when I asked them.
If you're going to pound the pavement, you might as well do it in the world's most beautiful city. Sydney, Australia, home of the Harbour Bridge, the Opera House, of Bondi Beach, and yes, this guy, Tim Tszyu. Prize fighters, they know all about the road. So far removed from the bright lights of fight night, these long hours spent alone, paying debts and buying the future. Just as the legendary Manny Pacquiao came to Brisbane to learn you never bark at a hometown underdog.
And new champion of the world!
This time, it's an American icon, the great Errol Spence Jr, headlining in downtown Sydney for the fight of this son of a gun's life. Sunday, here at the famed Sydney Olympics compound, it's Tim Tszyu versus Errol Spence Jr. Errol Spence Jr. They call him the truth because everything about him's real. The hype, the work ethic, that suffocating pressure. How he clawed his way back from a terrifying car crash to unify world titles in boxing's glamour division. His only loss to Terence Crawford. Terence Crawford, that's it. The five-time division champion, ranked the world's best pound for pound. And in the way only fighters comprehend, Tszyu's been chasing Spence for years. And suddenly, the brave dog's caught up with the largest of prime movers on the highway to boxing immortality.
When I put a pace on, they gas.
We can never forget Tszyu's brutal rise.
My name's Tim.
How he took out a murderous row of champions, underestimated every step of the way. How he suffered his own setbacks and is now ready to prove he was born for this. because this is more than just a multi-million-dollar scrap. This is a life-changing, legacy-defining mega fight.
He's ready for the world.
Sunday, it's Tim Tszyu versus Errol Spence Jr. in the fight of the year, only on Main Event.
Oh, yes, the countdown, it is on. Just a few sleeps to go now, and we're going to be bringing you all the action from Afterpay Arena on Sunday. But right now, Fight Week, it is officially kicking off here on Sydney's spectacular harbour with our brand arrivals. Plenty of star power on the red carpet, as you can see, and it's all eyes, of course, on that man, Tim Tszyu. Errol Spence Jr, he hasn't shown up just yet, but we are looking forward to seeing both men come face-to-face a little bit later on. But as we build up to that, it is a very warm Aussie welcome to these two former world champs alongside me, Shawn Porter and Paulie Malignaggi, who are going to be joining me for all of Fight Week here in Sydney. So good to see the two of you. Easy decision, really easy decision, I'm guessing, to get on a plane and come down under for this one?
It was an easy decision to get on the red carpet, too, but they didn't show me. What the heck? Yeah, it was always an easy decision to come out here, especially for this fight right here. Yeah. I mean, this is one that's probably 50-50. You really, there's so many scenarios that you could come up with why someone could win this fight, why one could lose. And talk to me on fight night, and I still won't know who's going to win this one.
Hey, what about this for a backdrop? Not every day you get to stand in front of the Sydney Opera House.
Very scenic and very vacation-like. But these two guys are about to go to war this week, so
how did I miss
no
that?
Vacation vibes, right?
Look around, we're in on the beautiful Sydney Harbour right now. But hey, so good to have the two of you here. Pretty damn good to have Errol Spence Jr. in Sydney as well, one of the greatest of this generation, who's been in hiding for 3 years, who you fought a number of years ago. Can you quite believe that of all the places this man could have picked to make his comeback, that he's picked here in Australia?
Right. You know, the thing about Errol, and I think I personally have known this for a long time, he's a high competitor, very high-willed. You know, his mind tells him that he can do whatever it is that he wants to do. Any other fighter would say 3 years, let's start slow. Not only does he not start slow, but he goes into the man's backyard.
But you know, that's where the kitchen is going to be hot, shall we say, Shawn. You know, do you talk about he's high competitor, high-willed? Can he summon that out of him this week?
I do believe so. I think that's just his nature. That's who he is. Texas kid, man. You know how those athletes are. They think that they're the best athletes on the planet. He's coming to Australia. He's brought that to Australia with him. Can he summon it when the going gets tough?
That's the thing.
I think he's going to go down. He's still going to get up. That Texas bred in him is just going to bring him up. I think both these guys go down multiple times in this fight. I think we're looking at like a movie here. Yeah. We're going to be watching a movie on fight night.
Yeah, one of those fights where I've been saying it to everybody. I have more questions than I have answers. You know, people ask me the questions, and I'm answering them with more questions because I have more questions myself, you know. And you talk about, ask you on fight night, and even we won't know the answer. I tell you, I've been telling people, if you were to bet on this fight, you'd really be gambling because, you know, a lot of times you bet on a fight, you're thinking about, okay, I'm going to bet this way or this way because of something, one reason or another. But with these guys, you'd literally be taking a guess because anything can happen. There's too many variables going on with these two guys right now.
Right. And how does he look to you physically? He's played down the move to 160, but is that a bit of cause for concern, do you think?
Listen, the thing with him going down to 160, and Paulie knows this, when you've been out of the gym and out of the ring for so long, you can't just simply manipulate that body to lose the kind of weight that you need to lose. Imagine the kid's been out for 3 years. He probably was walking around closer to 200 pounds than he was 180 pounds. That being said, I look at the fact that I know what it took for him. I don't know how much weight he lost, but I know there's an amount of commitment to losing whatever weight it was for him to get down. Coming off of the couch or hanging out with family and friends for so long, 3 years, and he had to take off whatever it was he took off, he's committed to this fight, and I think that even if it was just getting to 160, it was a feat for that alone for him to get there.
Let's talk a bit about Tim Tszyu and this opportunity of a lifetime that's landed in his lap, Paulie, after a turbulent past couple of years. Would victory on Sunday make up for everything that's happened? Would all be forgotten and forgiven if he can get the job done?
You know, I don't know if it makes up for everything, but what it does do is it catapults him to the high status of this weight class because his name is one of the bigger names in the weight class. So whenever you have a big name in a weight class like this where there's a lot of top fighters, but fighters are still struggling to get their name and make it big, you automatically put yourself in a position to get any of those big fights. Because now, those guys look at you as a scalp, and now you position yourself to get a shot at those guys. Now, they may look at you as a scalp, but you're looking at yourself like, okay, my name has now catapulted me here. I'm right back in the front seat, and I can choose which big fight I want to get. So I think that's on the line for both guys if we really talk about it, because Errol is in the same position. So these guys, a lot of question again, like I said, and the answer will be given to us on fight night. But the winner comes out with a big reputation, because both of these guys already have a big name within the weight class and within the sport. So winning a fight like this puts them back into the driver's seat when it comes to that situation.
I think for Tim personally, it does make up for everything that's gone on in his career in the last 2 to 3 years. And why I say that is because Errol Spence has been on Tim's radar for a very long time.
Yep.
When you finally get a crack at something that you wanted so long ago, I think this does. It doesn't wash it all away, but it brings a level of glorification to him personally that he wouldn't have otherwise.
How do you think Tim handles the pressure of being here on home turf, the hopes of a nation on his shoulders? There's so many emotions he's going to be dealing with this week.
There's a lot of pressure, but you also remind yourself this is why you do this. You know, you arrive at these moments understanding the pressure, but also relishing the pressure, because the reason you start boxing, the reason you want to do this is to have these high pressure moments that mean so much glory when you win. I mean, give you so much credibility when you win. Tim's been through a lot in his career. This is a bit of a resurrection, an opportunity for a resurrection to his career, and he's trying to let people know, hey man, I took some setbacks, but I didn't go anywhere, you know. And a win here puts him again right back in that driver's seat. There is a lot of pressure, but I think that's also, we'll probably get more into this in a bit, and that's also why he brought in a guy like Jeff Fennick, more for the mindset than anything else. Fennick was more of a mindset fighter. He was a rough, rugged guy. That's what you want to see in Tim Tszyu. You want to bring out that fire it's sort of been missing. And we got to look at Errol. Errol's team has arrived on the red carpet.
He's in the house. He's just arrived. Ronnie Shields there, his whole entourage. They look the part, don't they? Hey?
Yeah.
Matching uniforms.
Well, team uniforms.
Looks like a dodgeball team, hey? But how does he look to you? What do you make of him?
You know, the thing I know about Errol, this is what he doesn't care for. He doesn't care for media. He doesn't care for time to talk and smile. He's ready for this night to be over. I saw him earlier. He looked comfortable. He looked relaxed, like he's been here before, not like it's been 3 years, you know? I've seen guys before that have tried to make comebacks, and they're overexcited about it. They're super happy and, you know, beyond. You know, he's right where he's always been, and I think that those are good signs for him ahead of this fight.
Is that a bad sign for Tim, potentially?
I mean, Tim's got to show up, and I like what Tim told me. Tim says, I want to walk across the ring, and I want to punch him in the mouth. I think that's a really good game plan. When he was telling it to me at that point in time, I was like, I don't think you want to do that. But what better way to remind the guy that he's been out of the ring for 3 years than to...
I think that's actually important. I think the way when I analyze this fight, I think about that. I say, you know, Errol's been out of the ring for 3 years. Let's face it.
Yeah.
We're prolonging this fight, but last time he was in the ring 3 years ago, he was getting beat from pillar to post. So you want to remind him right away, you know, let him feel that small glove knuckle right through in his face. I think it's imperative for Tim to get off to a quick start, because you don't want to let Errol get that confidence and get into that groove, you know, because once he does that, it could get a little tricky.
We always talk about the first round being a fill-out round. There's this, for Tim, there can't be a fill-out round this first round.
Especially, too, that the question mark about Tim is his aggression, his mentality, right? Okay, so I think he's going to want to prove that, and I think Jeff Fennick is going to demand that of him. Fennick is a bit of a strict guy in that way. I would be surprised if Fennick doesn't demand certain mentality changes within Tim.
Because you were with us in Wollongong for the Dennis Nurya fight, and I mean, I know you wanted more. You probably thought he should have got rid of him.
Yeah, you know what? Tim fought a solid technical fight, but there came a point in that fight where you felt he was just better than him, and we all knew he was better than him. And I feel like Tim also realized, okay, I've shown I'm better than this guy. Let me go up another gear, and he just instead let it just slide. You know, he just kind of let it glide into and went the distance, and that's where the mentality change needs to happen. If Tim is going to show that he's still among the best junior middleweights or middleweights in the world, he's got to show that mean streak. He's got to show that mindset that when he's dominating a fight, now he can go into that extra gear and finish it the way he needs to. And with the Nurya fight, you felt like he got himself to that point, and then when it was time to rev the engine and step on the gas, It wasn't there. You know, and that left, again, those questions instead of answers.
And that is the thing, whether he's still got that mindset, doesn't he? That killer instinct that we saw against Tony Harrison, that we saw against Ocampo, that aura that he had against Mendoza, does that still exist is one of those big questions.
Listen, I heard what Paulie said. I did not see that fight. I didn't catch any highlights or anything. This moment right here, him going at Tony, we're going to see some crazy uppercuts coming from Tim here, right? This is the kind of killer instinct that Paulie's talking about. Whatever killer instinct you didn't see in his last fight, Paulie, I assure you, it's here now. And it's Errol's fault.
It's got to be.
It's Errol's fault. You know, Errol with I'm not shaking your hand. Errol with don't talk to me. And, you know, all those little things that, again, Texas-bred athletes, that's just how they are. Tim didn't understand that. And his thing is like, all right, you woke up the beast in me. You know, he's now the Phoenix. Yeah, we got a Phoenix rising.
Yeah, I mean, and it's got to be. I don't think there can be any other Tim Tszyu. You know, and Megan, you brought up a great point too. The thing about Brian Mendoza, I think about Brian Mendoza. Mendoza's not been a world champion, but he's a knockout win over Fundora. He is always a rugged guy. Takes a good punch, a tough guy to put away. You know, constantly stays difficult to deal with. And Tim really showed that mean streak. Against a guy like that to elevate your mindset and continue to put a beating on him, that's something. You know, you think about, could Tim have done that in the last couple of fights against a guy like Brian Mendoza? You start to question yourself. Has he gone backwards since the Brian Mendoza fight because of that? Because you think of a Brian Mendoza against Tim in the last two fights, I think Tim's mentality, he would have trouble with a Brian Mendoza. But yet, the same Tim was dominant over Brian Mendoza not that long ago. So, yes, that's the mindset you need to have to fight Errol Spence. You need to have that seek and destroy.
I want to defend Tim right now, right? Tim's been in a transitional phase, you know?
Yeah.
He's transitioned from the coach down in Florida to now
Pedro
he's with he was with Pedro, and then now he's with Jeff Finnick, and it's just been this thing of trying to find his identity. And I think in those moments where you're thinking, you know, I need to see more, I think he's literally just trying to go through the paces of who am I now, you know? Right there, you want to see him turn it up. Yeah. I think he didn't realize, like, I need killer now. I think he realized, you know, he's like, he's still working these ones and twos and trying to, you know, find himself. So I don't doubt that the killer instinct's there. I think that it's there more than ever now because of Errol Spence Jr. If it were anyone else, we might be looking at, you know, a little softer version of Tim, but I think we're going to get a strong Tim.
I suppose how many more times can he chop and change? This has got to be it, though. He's overhauled his team twice in the past 12 months. So, is this the final roll of the dice for Tim Tszyu?
I mean, this is if he wins here, I mean, the game keeps going. You know, he's not leaving. He's going to keep going down the road. But if he gets beat here, it's hard. It's going to be difficult to convince anyone outside of Australia that he can regain world-class level. You know, maybe within Australia, friends, the locals, the fan base, okay, they want to keep following him. But I think if you get beat here, unless you get beat in an all-out, super entertaining war where people want to see you again, it's probably over at a world-class level for Tim Tszyu. But again, it also is going to matter how the fight plays out.
Just quickly, the animosity between these two. We're going to see them come face-to-face tonight for the first time here in Australia. You were in Vegas when we had that handshake snub incident. Tim wasn't happy about that, but that really lit the fuse, and it's been all on from that moment.
I think, if anything, Tim was a little dry when he got to America. And what I mean by that, he was just coming off of that fight he had, and, you know, now I'm getting in the ring with Errol Spence Jr. and just kind of like, you know, where are we? And I think that Errol woke him up by not shaking his hand, and he realized, like, okay, this is the fight that I've been wanting for so long. It really turned it on for him. The fans are getting a treat, though, because the animosity is something that lacks in boxing. We're usually friends, cordial, I'll see you later, and then on fight night, we have to turn it on to be who we need to be. Fans don't often get a big clash, a big fight where it's actually a fight, you know? And that's what they're getting on fight night.
Yeah. Hey, some breaking news this afternoon. This has probably dropped in the last hour or so. Nikita Tszyu, little brother, his next fight is now locked in August 26th. We don't know where it's going to be yet. Gold Coast, Melbourne, a couple of the venues that have been suggested. But this is a world title eliminator, Paulie against fellow Aussie Ben Marnie. So this is going to be a fantastic fight between these two. An IBF world title fight. The winner should be looking to take on Josh Kelly. So What an opportunity for Nikita.
Nikita Tszyu is closing in on world honors, and you know, as we talk about Tim and Tim trying to regain that status, Nikita is slowly creeping into the world title picture, and IBF Eliminator puts him in a position to fight Josh Kelly. So you would think it's maybe one of the weaker of the major world champions, so it's a good guy to target. Nikita's shown to be strong, rigid, sturdy, in your face. Kelly's more of a cutie type of boxer, so you know, I like that matchup. But let's see how he does in late August first, before we start counting our chickens before the eggs hatch.
You boys better book your flights. You want to be back here in a month for this one?
We'll see what happens. I got some engagements that I need to be a part of, but we'll see what happens. But I will say this real quick. I heard that opponent that Nikita has is a really good boxer.
Yeah.
Nikita's seen that before, with guys that, you know, we don't know who's going to win this, and Nikita's turned up and really turned out before.
So good boxer, meaning like you could prep him for a Josh Kelly fight?
There it is.
Yeah.
Hey, lots more to chat about with you two. We're going to hear from Tim and Errol very shortly, but let's get over to No Limit boss George Rose now for the official Welcome to Fight Week.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Sydney, Australia, where we are just about to kick off Fight Week for Spence Jr versus Tim Tszyu. If you're going to kick off Fight Week, where better to do it than right here on the most beautiful harbour in the world. I've got the Opera House to my left. I've got the Harbour Bridge to my right. What a city. Without a doubt, Sydney is the best city in the world. It's such a pleasure to introduce our international guests who have travelled all the way over here to be a part of this fight. I would like to welcome the Spence Jr team and the Fulton team who have travelled all the way over here. Some of the best talent coming out of America. This is, without a doubt, one of the best fight cards that we've ever seen here in Australia. And it's one of them ones where it's the best of times and the worst of times. When you're bringing out Errol Spence Jr out here to Australia, what an absolute honour to have one of the best welterweights of all time fighting here in our country, fighting here in Sydney. It's the best thing to be able to have him here with us. But at the same time, I don't want to see him lose, but I want my guy to win. I want to see Tim Tszyu come out there and put on a fantastic performance. Tim Tszyu has carried this country in boxing for such a long time, and I know that we've got a great performance coming for him. So it's the best of times and the worst of times. It's great to have this great American talent out here, but we would also love to see our Australian talent knock them off on Sunday out here at Homebush. It's going to be a fantastic weekend. We've got 4 Olympians on this card, and we've got some of the best domestic matchups that you will ever see in Australian boxing. So it's going to make for a fantastic week out here in Sydney. Fight Week is just kicking off. I'm really excited. There's a great vibe here tonight. It's great to have everyone here. Again, welcome to all the teams who have travelled from abroad to be here. And I want to wish the best of luck to our Australian competitors who are here representing for Australia in this USA versus Australia card. We want to see our Australians do the absolute best. But welcome to Fight Week, and I hope you all have a great week out here. It's Fight Week, baby. Let's kick it off. Let's go.
If you having girl problems, I feel bad for you, son. I got 99 problems, but a bitch ain't one. I got the rap patrol on the cat patrol. Foes that want to make sure my cash is closed. Rap critics to say he's money cash holes. I'm from the hood, stupid.
Well said, and I'm pleased to say that Errol Spence Jr has been good enough to join myself, Paulie and Sean. Errol, wonderful to see you. I've got to say, firstly, nice to see a couple of familiar faces here in Oz.
Thank you.
Glad to see Sean and Paulie, a couple of familiar faces here in Oz.
For sure. Especially Sean, this is my guy, man.
I guess I'll kick it off. One thing I know about you is this is extracurricular stuff that you could do without. That's one thing I know about you. But what I feel, and I want to know this about you, like, have you matured? Is this something that you're more welcoming to now, or is it just like, nah, get it out of my face?
Nah, man, I dread it every time. Like, it's something that I do not like to do. If I could just fight, I just fight. Like, I really don't care for all this time stuff, but I know you got to do it. So, you know, I'm here for it. I don't complain about it. I just do it, but I don't like it at all.
You said that you didn't mind coming to Australia to fight Tim Tszyu. You wanted to go to Australia to fight Tim Tszyu. Coming to Australia, being here now, how does it feel to be in Australia?
It feels good, and that's one of the reasons why I wanted to come to Australia is because I wouldn't have to do that many interviews. Because I know if I'd have fought in Dallas, man, I'd have been doing 1,000 interviews. I'd have been doing Dallas Morning News, just all over the place, just doing shows. So I knew my first fight back, I wanted to come back and fight probably overseas somewhere to where, you know, the only time I do interviews really is fight week. So, you know, it's been good, and, you know, I'm happy being in Australia. Australia's been dope. The people have been great, and I'm just ready to put on the show.
There's a curiosity about you, though, in a foreign country. You know, obviously, your reputation was worldwide. You weren't just an American star. You were a global star. So, you know, coming here to Australia, how have you been received so far? You know, obviously, because like I said, when a champion like you going overseas, it's a treat for them, for these fans, too. Yeah, they have their guy, they have Tim, but it's also a treat to be able to see a fighter of your level come over to their country. How have you been received so far?
I've been received great, man. I've been getting treated real good. The people have been treating me good. A lot of the Aborigines have been treating me real good too. Like, they've been showing a lot of love. So I almost think I'm one of them. So they've been showing me a lot of love and a lot of appreciation, man. It's been dope, man. I'm excited.
Cool.
Errol, are you disappointed that your training buddy Jamal Charlo can't be here this week? I'm sure you would have loved to have him down under as well.
You said what? Say it again?
Jamal Charlo not here this week. You're disappointed not to see him?
Oh, Jamal? Oh, you said Jamil. Jamal, yeah, I'm kind of disappointed that he's not here. But you know, I talked to him. I told him to just stay focused, and you know, he'll get another opportunity. Just stay in the gym, just keep working, man. And you know, things happen, man. You can't question it. You gotta roll with it.
And let's speak real quick to the weight. There's been a lot of rumblings, the increase to the weight and all that kind of stuff. From your perspective, let everybody know, like, where we at with that. Like, was that something that along the way you realized that I can't get to 154? What, like, you know, like what? It's a lot, you know. So I just want to, you know, kind of clear the air from your standpoint. You know what I mean?
I mean, really nothing to clear. Like, I didn't feel like getting down to 158 pounds.
See, okay, thank you. Thank you. At the end of the day.
So I saw the 160, like, bro, like, I was like 160 the weight class, bro. Like, why y'all doing that 158? Because y'all think that because I'm the smaller guy coming at 147, I was like, just have it at 160, bro. Like, you know, it can be simple. That's the weight class anyway. 158 is not a weight class to catch weight.
You hear the increases and everybody's thinking that there's a struggle, right?
Yeah,
so you just answered it. Like, there's no.
It is what it is. They can think what they want to think. Sunday they'll see something different.
All right, I gotta ask you a question. I just noticed this over here. This is a look like the father had, Kasha. Is this something? A little bit of mind games? Their father, Kasha had this hairdo, the tail. What brought this on? Is it your idea, or was it? Nah, or are you doing it on purpose?
Nah, it's always something I really want to do, and I wanted to cut my dreads off, but I just wanted the rat tail.
Oh, so like, you remember the father had one, right?
Yeah, the father did have one. Yeah, and I told them, I was like, damn, it is kind of a coincidence. I didn't do it on purpose.
Yeah.
I didn't do it on purpose, but I was like, hey, I'll roll.
It's already growing. Yeah.
Yeah, I roll with it.
You put the work in, you might as well leave it.
Yeah.
Hey, Errol, we're looking forward to seeing you and Tim come face-to-face a little bit later on. What are you going to do if he tries to shake your hand?
I mean, I'm not going to do nothing. I mean, two got a tango and hold his hand out. So if he try to, I don't think he's going to do it. He's not going to do it. He knows he ain't going to do it.
Why is it so personal with you two?
I mean, it's not personal. It's just, man, we're going to fight. And like, I understand him trying to be a quote-unquote gentleman, but that's not the facts, because like he done said stuff about him, you know, taking my eye and, you know, breaking it and all this type of stuff, saying this, and then you want to shake my hand. It was like, you trying to take my eyesight, but now you want to shake my hands and be friends or whatever. Like, I don't want to shake your hand. Like, you saying all this type of stuff about me, you gonna do this, you gonna do that, you gonna do. Okay, you're going to beat me like Fundora did Keith Thurman, and you're going to retire me and all this and that. Like, I'm not trying to shake your hand, bro. Like you said what you said, now stand on it.
I told people the question that was presented to me is this mind games coming from Errol. I said, Errol's not really the mind game kind of guy.
Yeah.
Is it mind games, or is it like...
It's no mind game. I don't play mind games. You know, bro, I don't play no mind games. Like, it's how I feel. Like, I don't want to shake your hand, bro.
Just keep the same energy
as
before, yeah.
Like, I don't want to shake your hand, bro. It's just what it is. There's no mind games. I don't play mind games. It's just, I'm not going to shake your hand, bro.
Even after the fight, I saw that too. You were like, I ain't shaking it after the fight either.
Yeah, like you say what you say, bro. I don't really care for him like that. So
understood.
We saw you sparring with Brian Mendoza a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
He says you've still got it, still got your chin, which is good to hear. But what did he tell you about Tim? Did he give you any good insight?
Yeah, he gave me a little insight.
How was camp overall? You know, for your first training camp in several years. How was it going through the grind of that training camp?
That shit was hard, bro. Yeah. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, sometimes, like when the training camp first kicked off, I really like going. I really was gonna go home. Like,
it's called getting older, right?
Yeah, like you get older. Like it was stuff that was hurting and things that I was feeling. I was like, bro, like I didn't feel this. I don't remember feeling this, you know, when I was really active. I don't remember feeling this type of stuff, and it took a while for my body to like really get adjusted. Yeah, really get adjusted to like pushing the pace and the momentum and you know really going all out. Cause like when you training and not getting ready for training camp, you know, it's not the same intensity. It's not the same intensity. But once you've been intense with it, it's like your body your body going to shock. It's like, hold on, man. Like, so it took a while for my body to get acclimated.
Hey, appreciate your time. I know you're tired of interviews, but we might have to chat to you throughout the week. But
that's cool.
Yeah, good. Look forward to seeing you and Tim face off a little bit later.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to take a very quick break here. Tim Tszyu is going to join us next, so do stay with us.
Here he comes again, and what a ride it has been. Oh, there's damage, massive cut. Tim Tszyu is in a destructive mood today. Oh, there's an uppercut. Tszyu punching with fire. A barrage from Tszyu. Unified welterweight champion of the world, Errol Spence Jr.
Errol Spence Jr is one of the greatest welterweights of all time. This fight card is the greatest fight card that we've ever had in this country. It's USA versus Australia, and Tim Tszyu is leading from the front.
It's been years and years in the making. I can't wait to get in there.
I came up to him before, tried to shake his hand, and he just walked past me, disrespectful.
Shake his hand for what? I don't know him.
That just shows the type of person he is. He fucking got me, bro. Now he got me pissed off.
He's no caliber of his fighter. I mean, of his dad.
Every fighter that I've ever fought has said the same thing.
My name's Tim, not the son.
He fighting me. He's trying to get out his daddy's shadow.
I just want to do damage. I just want to hurt him.
You know how I come. You know how
No, I know what you're made of. That's what I'm saying.
You want to spar today? Come on.
Yeah.
We can spar.
Yeah, let's go.
We're gearing up for
The fact that I'm doing it here back at home, another privilege for me.
I'm looking forward to disappointing you and your fans back at home.
No, you better
Run.
We'll see come July 26th, can he get out that shadow?
Yes, it all started with that now infamous handshake snub over in Vegas, and here we are a couple of months later waiting to see what happens when Tim Tszyu and Errol Spence Jr come face-to-face for the first time here in Australia. Tim Tszyu joins us now looking fantastic as always. Danny Green joining us as well. Does it still make you angry when you watch that moment back?
Long time. Already happened 8 weeks ago. I've totally forgotten about it. We're a couple of days out from the fight. That's all I'm really focused on right now.
Do you go in for the handshake tonight when
No, that's all done. That's all done.
What is your feeling towards him? What are you thinking when you're clocking him across the room right now?
Honestly, there's nothing personal for me. This is such a big moment in my life that I'm just, I don't know, just taking it with both hands, and I just really want to do some damage. I really want to get myself to that next level, and this is what it takes.
Does this moment feel any different to you than any other moment?
Yes.
It does, huh?
Yeah.
In what way?
I've had a couple of these moments. The first time I had it was with when I fought Jeff Horn. The second time I had it was with Tony Harrison, and I haven't had it since. And I've been searching for it. What is it going to make me feel like this is it?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And I hadn't had it. Like, even in the front door, I was waking up and I was like, this doesn't feel like fight week, you know? But this feels something different, you know? When you put all on the line, you roll the dice, this feeling of just, I don't know, I can't really describe it, but...
How are you handling it?
Great.
You're handling it great.
Yeah, great. Because when I feel it, I just embrace it, you know, and that's what it is.
Tim, when you were a young kid, did you dream that you'd be sitting here in front of all these people, next to this legend, next to all the other people out here, fighting a legend, under the lights of the Sydney Opera House and the Sydney Harbour Bridge? Did you dream of this as a young kid?
As a young kid, the 8-year-old me, yes. The older I got, the more you come into reality, and the dream slowly starts disappearing. I guess when you're 8 years old, you think you can become an astronaut. You can fly to the moon. You can do all these things. When I was 8 years old, I used to go to my backyard, and I used to get the soccer ball and I used to punch it. I used to think I was Michael Buffer, Jimmy Lennon Jr. walking myself out into the ring. I used to get up on the top of the pool and just from victory and do the knockouts against the soccer ball, you know? And as a young kid, I used to dream of this moment, and now I'm living it.
Mad, mate. And does it feel any different? Do you feel, to me, you look a bit more relaxed in this camp. It's a bigger moment, but you look pretty chilled, man. You look pretty switched on.
I just want to get in there, you know? Like, I don't need to sell anything. I don't need to talk crap. I'm just here to do what I got to do, and that's fight, you know. And I'm so grateful to have that feeling.
Have you got any questions for this man, Sean Porter, who obviously shared the ring with Errol a few years back? Anything you've...
Oh, look, every style is so different. Sean gave him one hell of a fight. One hell of a fight.
I tell you what, they shot a question to me in the email, and I was like, I'm not going to answer that because you're going to go and tell Tim. No, I don't want you to tell Tim because I want this to be a good fight. I want both guys to do their homework and do what they need to do. Who did you watch? Did you watch any fights to get ready for this?
Of course. Again, Kell Brook, Mikey Garcia, Who was his last fight against? Danny Garcia as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Out of those guys, Tim, do you think you're close? Which one do you think you're the closest style to out of those guys, opponents?
I think I'm very different to all of them. You know, very different. And what I bring, I think it's completely different. What I'm going to bring in this fight compared to my last ones is going to be even more different.
What did you get out of the Crawford fight? I'm sure you've watched
Two
that one.
completely different styles.
Yeah.
Crawford's he's a goat, you know. He's a goat, and what he did to Errol Spence was not many people can do that.
Yeah, it's difficult, and it's kind of hard to gauge what Errol is going to be like in this fight because he's been inactive and coming off a loss to Bud. Bud doesn't just beat people; he breaks people, and so it's very, very hard for you to ascertain exactly what he's going to be like versus you. Because if he was fighting someone different, it would have been most probably a different outcome. So you can't really take him off that form. So it's what makes this fight such a mystery.
Yeah.
Because he's been out for a while, coming off a loss to Bud Crawford, which everyone loses to Bud Crawford. Canelo loses to Bud Crawford. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's really hard for you to gauge what he's going to be like. So that must have been. This must have been.
You know what? It's not a stylistically, tactically fight. I want to make it into more of a, how bad do you want this? You know, when you've made $20 million. That's US dollars, yeah? 20 million US dollars for your last fight. You've had some time off, you've had kids. What's your real motivation? Do you really want to keep on going when the time gets hard? For me, I'm all in, man. This is it for me. I feel like, I don't know, like this doesn't feel like a normal fight. For him, it might feel like a normal fight, you know? He's been in there with Crawford, and maybe that was a little bit different for him, but this is my lose yourself moment.
This is it. Wow. You're working with Jeff Finnick now. Is this your first go around with Jeff, or do you have past this experience?
No, first time.
And so I'm estimating, just kind of looking at different camps and what's gone on when guys have changed, transitioned to new trainers and stuff like that. I'm estimating that it takes a good 2 to 3 years for a coach and a fighter to truly mesh, know each other's thoughts and feelings and the expectations and so on and so forth. Are there any new wrinkles coming to this fight with Errol Spence from working with Jeff?
I agree with you. Possibly, yeah. But a little bit, a little sprinkle of Jeff, you know.
Yeah.
Will I change my whole style? No. I'm still the same old man. Yeah. But I've learned over the years, from my first coach to my Miami coach, and now to Jeff, a little sprinkle from everyone, and you create one hybrid of an athlete.
That's what I was.
What do you make of the Spence team's decision to bump this fight up to 160? What does it tell you about Spence's physicality?
Oh, look, it doesn't really bother me, but I'm very glad that it actually is. It's my first fight at this weight division, which I actually intend to stay. I don't intend to drop back to 154, but it doesn't really bother me.
So the heavier this fight gets, the more it favours you. Is that your belief?
I don't really know. A bit of both.
I'll jump in here, Tim. I think it favours you, mate.
Yeah.
I think this is in your advantage. I think it's a bonus.
I've been on 154 for 10 years.
You're Aussie. You're supposed to say that.
No, I really do. I think it does.
10 years. 10 years I've been on 154.
You're a young man too.
I feel like when I used to get down to that weight, I used to drain myself. I used to make it a fight. And this isn't a fight for me. I'm not having a battle a week out from my fight. I'm coming in refreshed, rejuvenated, and comfortable.
Yes.
And I feel like it's going to pay a big difference.
Well, you look great. You look ready to go. Yeah. We really appreciate your time tonight. Enjoy the show and enjoy coming face-to-face with Errol a little bit later on.
Yeah.
Great suit, man.
Yeah.
I love a good suit, man.
I take it from you, man.
That's good stuff.
You're the number one man.
Best dressed easily. Hey, I'm going to get over to Ben Damon now with a special guest.
A very special guest. In fact, he's the man who's spent more time with Tim Tszyu than anyone else through the build-up to this fight. You know better than anyone, Jeff. How's Tim Tszyu going?
To be honest, Ben, the first and foremost, I worked mentally on him. I wanted him to be happy because I've seen him over the months. Yeah, not feeling great, but if you look at him today, speak to him over the last couple of weeks, he's a different human. I'm happy to be part of that. And I think that his preparation with this has been second to none. Everybody says, oh, I've had the best preparation, best preparation. This preparation hasn't just been physical. It's been mental, and it's been a bonding one. We're all the team are all together on the same page. I'm really, really excited what we're going to see.
And what are we going to see when he gets into the ring? You've made all these changes to him mentally, but physically, what style of Tim Tszyu do we see against Errol Spence?
You know, Ben, it's really hard to change a style over 10 weeks, but you're going to see him do things that he hasn't done before, and you're going to see him do things that he did before in a much better way, in a much safer way. I'd like to think that the first couple of rounds, we're not going to be doing nothing, but we're going to work out exactly what we need to do without getting hit and landing as many punches as we can early. In other words, I want Errol Spence to fight Tim Tszyu's fight instead of Tim Tszyu to fight Errol Spence's fight.
We know a lot about Errol Spence, but I'm sure that you know more than anyone now, after sitting down and watching a lot of him in recent times, interacting with him today as you have, what version of him are we getting in this fight after 3 years away from the ring?
You know, Ben, honestly, I think that 3 years is a long time. But in boxing, you get that great sparring, and he's in America with all those great fighters. So he'd have been sparring a lot. But then sometimes I wonder if he's been sparring a bit too much, if it's a bit too heavy. I've got a lot of things that are going through my head, but I know one thing, that everything that we've done with Tim has made him 100% positive, and that's the kind of guy I want to take in the ring. We don't have any doubt. We've got a job to do, and like I said, I've done my job. It's up to Tim to do his, and I have 100% confidence that Tim will do his job.
Good luck, Jeff.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Australia.
That is Jeff Fenech, Megan.
Yeah, great to hear from Jeff Fenech. Thanks, Ben. Really looking forward to seeing what sort of impact he can have on Tim. But someone who I reckon can give us a little bit of an idea is you, Danny Green, given Jeff Fenech managed and trained you back in the day. What are your memories of that time, and how did Jeff bring out the best in you?
Oh, it was a magical time in my life. I just turned professional, just come off the Olympic Games, trained with Jeff Fenech, 3-time world champion, moved to Sydney moved in the big smoke from little old Perth, and no one knew me, and then teamed up and came to this amazing gym with Team Fenech and all these mad fighters I was watching on Friday night fights. And then to be in the mix was incredible. And then to go and fight for the world title in Germany and get robbed and demolish Bayer, and then get the title in my next fight, the WBC title over in the super middleweight title in Montreal against Eric Luca. It was it's still one of my favourite fights, one of the most special moments of my career, and Jeff was in my corner for that, and it was a magic dynamic that we had going on in that atmosphere, in that era of my career, and I think personally that Jeff's going to inject a lot of vigour into Tim Tszyu in this camp. It's new, he's fresh. I think he's going to want to impress Jeff Fenech, and that is going to be a determining factor. And I think the difference between Tim and Errol, Tim's younger, he's hungrier, I feel, and I think that he's going to want to impress Jeff in this fight, and I think it's going to be a positive.
Hey, we're going to bring in former 2-division world champ Stephen Fulton, who's come all the way from Philadelphia to take on Liam Wilson.
He moved over. I'm good. You want to do that?
Stephen, come on in. Come on in. A fight with Liam Wilson that's now been elevated to co-main. You're now into a world title eliminator. How excited are you for Sunday?
I'm excited. I'm just ready to go.
Does it change anything for you now that this is a world title eliminator?
Not really. I feel like every fight for me is just like, I don't know. I just got to get in there and just do it.
How are you enjoying your time in Oz? You arrived here Friday, so you've had a few days now to acclimatise?
Yes. Everything's been great so far.
Mate, you've got a mad wardrobe. You're the man with the clothes. Are you gonna come down under and try and pick up a pair of slick crocodile skin shoes or boots?
No, I'm not really worried about it too much. I'm focused. I'm not really worried about anything. Plus, I actually listen to the fans who just want me to just get back to where I was and not focus on what I have on.
Do you know much about Liam Wilson? Have you seen much of him, and what do you think, mate?
Oh, he's a strong, solid opponent, and he's determined to win.
You've obviously got the edge and experience. How do you come into this fight fighting a younger guy, or not younger, but a guy that's had nowhere near the same experience, success, and career that you've had? How do you handle that mentally?
Just don't let it phase you. Just another day in the office. Just take it one day at a time.
You went over to Japan to fight Noah anyway. Now you're here in Australia fighting another, what do you call him? You're going into someone else's backyard.
Enemy territory.
There it is. You know,
I know what you're looking
you're
for.
You're in enemy's territory now. You think you're more prepared for this one than you were for the fight that you had with Noah, or just all the same?
I feel like it's all the same. Man.
Yeah.
It's just all the same.
Yeah. What's the demand for this fight? Is it to outbox Wilson? Is it to break him down?
Just be smarter than him. Come fight night. Just be smarter than him. Make the adjustments that's needed. That is needed, and listen to my corner. Just do whatever they tell me to do. So I trust in them.
You seen any kangaroos since you've been out here, mate?
Nah, I've been in the room.
Yeah.
In the treadmill, in the room, working out, things like that.
Is it harder than what you thought to get used to Australian conditions?
No, it's not hard. Like since a kid in the amateurs, we've been to Russia, Ireland, Italy, everywhere. So it's not really hard to adapt.
And how's the body feeling for you? How are you filling out into a 130-pound fighter?
I'm big.
My man said I'm big. He said I still got some work to do, and we all usually do. You know, three or 4 days away from a weigh-in.
We all got a chip at it.
Yeah. One more for me on Wilson. As you go up in your career, there's guys that you leave behind, guys that you never even think of. I know for Errol, fighting Tim was never a thought for him. You know, things went the way that they went. Now he's in the ring with getting in the ring with Tim. Same thing for you. What has Liam Wilson ever been on the radar, and did you ever see yourself fighting him until now?
No, I'm gonna be honest. I didn't know him until they offered him. I never heard of him until they offered.
Yeah.
But it was like I had to go this route because if I want the world title. So why not?
What are you expecting from Wilson?
What do I expect from him? I expect him to be on point. I expect him to be smart. I expect him to try to make the adjustments as well as me. I expect him to be as hungry as he is because he seems like he's focused. So I expect everything, all of these things from him. And he's 30, so he's young. I'm not sure what he's been through as far as other fights, like has he been through wars or anything, but I think I know I got it still. I still have it.
There it is.
It's experience.
There it is.
That's why I feel I'm just more calm and patient, and just relax. So the experience always gonna, show itself.
Well, bring it on. Looking forward to Sunday, the co-main world title eliminator. We're going to let you go and get organised. You're going to be facing off with Liam in just a moment, but really appreciate your time.
Thank you.
All right, well, those live face-offs are coming up next. We're going to take a quick break and be back after this.
10 seconds. Концовка. Еще. Давай. Еще боком. 4 удара.
the biggest fights in Australian boxing history is now locked and loaded.
I think me and Errol Spence is going to be one hell of a fight. If he wants to meet me at the front, bring it on.
Yeah, this Sunday cannot come soon enough. Rain, hail or shine will be live from Afterpay Arena at 9:30 a.m. for our prelims on Fox Sports before we move across to our main event coverage from 11 a.m. And before we get our fighters faced off, a quick comment from all three of you on our 4 pay-per-view fights, starting with Callum Peters, Ivan Actors to kick things off, Danny.
Tough fight for Callum Peters. They've picked a live dog in this one. He's undefeated and he's from Argentina. And I've fought a couple of Argentinians, and you boys know they're tough, they're rugged, they can punch, they come to fight. I saw Callum Peters in the national titles in Perth about 3 or 4 years ago. I remember watching him fight, and I went over and said, "G'day to the young bloke." I said, "Man, I want to see you in the future." He's a good kid, and this kid's he's electric, he's effervescent. I love the way he fights, he's exciting.
Ahmed Redder v Paul Fleming up next, the classic youth v experience matchup, Paulie.
Yeah, Redder, the expectation, the weight on his shoulders is the expectation about him. He's a bright prospect. He's somebody that the fans in Australia, the media in Australia have a lot of expectation about. But Fleming's a guy with the experience, has a good record. It's one of the processes you go through as a prospect on your way up the ladder. You got to take on guys like Fleming who have this kind of experience, who've been around the block a little bit, and also have bring the record to make your resume shine a little bit if you get a victory over them.
Stephen Fulton v Liam Wilson. This is going to be a cracking fight, and it's now a world title eliminator, Sean.
It is, and a good one to replace it as the co-main event. If you don't know Stephen Fulton, he's a fighter that can use his jab, really good speed, likes to use the ring, but he can also push forward if you allow him to. I like this fight because Liam Wilson is not going to allow you to just be comfortable and do what you want to do. So I think we got some good 50-50s all the way around the board, and you know people don't like to hear that, but it kind of is what it is, especially as you go into the main event.
Well, speaking of, you just led me into that. Speaking of 50-50 fights, it is our main event. A comment from all of you now that we've seen the boys tonight.
Just like Sean said, it's a 50-50, which makes it exciting. It's intriguing. We're not too sure what this fella's going to bring for America. How much he's got left? Is he still that legend? Can Tim Tszyu defeat this legend? That's what's going to make people press the button and tune in.
And Tim Tszyu is going to ask that question right away. I got a feeling Tim Tszyu is going to walk up to Errol Spence and look to punch him right in the mouth, get him acclimated real early to remind him the last time he was in the ring, he didn't like to feel these punches. Errol's going to want to get in his face right away.
The question asked to
Tim
me,
is going to want to get in his face right away.
There it is. And Tim, and I was asked, you know, what is Tim up against? He's up against a very headstrong, confident fighter, and Errol Spence Jr. doesn't believe that he's not who he used to be. So it's a toughie for both these guys, and 50-50.
Love your work, boys. Lots more to chat about throughout the week, but we're going to get our fighters faced off now. It's good evening to Stephen Payos.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is a very warm welcome back here once again. This is Centre Stage, and this is the most beautiful harbour in the world, Sydney, Australia. We kick off fight week. It is Errol Spence Jr. coming up against Tim Tszyu, one of the biggest fight weeks Australian boxing has ever seen. And here we are once again on the harbour here in beautiful Sydney, and it is time to welcome our boxers on the main card up onto the stage where they will be facing off, and we get to introduce them and make some noise to welcome them up here. So Sydney, it's been a magnificent start to fight week here. It's a beautiful venue, a beautiful destination, and we're ready for Afterpay Arena. It's coming up on Sunday. Get your tickets. They are very limited now remaining for the event, which is coming up on Sunday. Get them right now. And for those watching at home, order now all throughout the week. Foxtel's main event pay-per-view and KO pay-per-view. Beamed around the world, this promises to be one of the biggest fights we have ever seen. So Sydney, before we welcome our first boxers onto the stage, let's get everybody here at this magnificent venue here at Campbell Stores to make some noise. Are we ready, Sydney? Magnificent. We're ready to go. Let's welcome our first boxers up onto the stage. We are 10 rounds in the middleweight division to kick things off. And first of all, to my left, out of the red corner, we introduce the man who's coming all the way from Adelaide in South Australia. His record is perfect. 7 fights, 7 wins, 6 big wins coming by way of knockout. A former Olympian and a man destined to take over the world. Let's have a round of applause. This is Callum 50 Cal Peters. Here he is, Callum Peters on stage. And now, ladies and gentlemen, time to introduce his opponent. He makes his way all the way from Argentina here to Sydney, ready for this bout. He holds a record 13 wins and 1 draw, 9 big wins coming by way of knockout. Let's have a very warm welcome and bienvenidos. This is Ivan Actis. Out of the blue corner, this man. Blue corner, blue for Argentina. Welcome on stage, gents. We'll get you facing off now, and George Rose, our promoter, will invite you here centre stage. Let's make some noise here, everybody. Sydney, the guys are on stage. The first face-off, 10 rounds, middleweight division. This is Actis and Peters. Facing forward, gents. Facing forward, please. There we have it, everybody. Let's have a massive round of applause, please. Callum Peters, Ivan Actis, 10 rounds, middleweight division. It is the first bout on our main card coming up on Sunday, 11 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. Now let's welcome our boxers up onto the stage. We move into the lightweight division, and this bout is a domestic slugfest that promises to be an absolute cracker on Sunday. Get your tickets to watch this one, and this one only if it's the only one that you see. Welcoming onto the stage, first of all, from to my left, out of the red corner. This man is a former Olympian. He hails from right here in Sydney, holding a record 28 wins, 1 loss and 2 draws, with 18 big wins coming by way of knockout. An Australian boxing legend, ladies and gentlemen. Let's make some noise for Paul Showtime Fleming. And now it's time to welcome his opponent onto the stage. He'll box to my right out of the blue corner. This man comes into the bout with a professional record, 8 fights, 8 wins, 6 big wins coming by way of knockout. Hailing from the inner western suburbs of Sydney, right here in New South Wales, Australia. Let's have a very big round of applause. This is Ahmad Bloodshot Rada. To my left, Redder to my right. Gents, welcome on stage. George Rose, please, facing these two men off. Facing forward, guys, facing forward and facing off. Here we go. Coming as close as we can. What a fight this will be, everybody. 10 rounds, lightweight division. It is Fleming, it is Redder. Domestic honours between these guys, domestic reputation. Who will take it out? Let's have a round of applause, please, everybody. This is Fleming and this is Redder. Second bout of our main card. Gents, fabulous work here, looking brilliant here on the harbour. All right, boxing fans, it's now time to welcome what is now an absolutely massive co-main event of the afternoon here in Sydney. This bout officially sanctioned now. It is 12 rounds in our WBA Super Featherweight World Title Eliminator here. It's going to be a massive fight and everything is on the line. So first of all, we introduce one of Australia's fan favourite boxers, one of the best we've seen. He boxes to my left out of the red corner. This man hails from Caboolture in Queensland, coming into the bout with a record of 18 wins and 3 losses, 10 big wins coming by way of knockout. He is a former world title challenger. Ladies and gentlemen, let's make some noise as we welcome Liam, Mr. Damage Wilson. And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome his opponent onto the stage. He'll box to my right out of the blue corner. This man hails from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, USA. Coming into the bout with 23 wins and 2 losses, 8 big wins coming by way of knockout. He's a former 2-division world champion and he comes into this bout confident. Let's make some noise as he makes his way onto the stage here in Sydney, all the way from Pennsylvania. Let's make some noise for Cool Boy Steph. This is Stephen Fulton Round of applause, Sydney. What an atmosphere. Here he is. Cool boy Steph onto the stage. George Rose facing these two guys. Facing forward. Here we go, guys. Facing each other. Facing off. This is it, everybody. Let's make some noise out there, Sydney. Here we go. This is it. Our co-main event of the afternoon. Facing forward, gents. Let's have a round of applause, Sydney. What a magnificent face-off that was here at Fight Week. Our first event in this magnificent city, the Harbour City. They're ready to go. Let's have a round of applause as they make their way off stage, everybody. The WBA Super Featherweight World Title Eliminator. Okay, Sydney. Here's the moment we've all been waiting for. Let's get everybody inside the venue now. On your feet, making some noise. Let's build this atmosphere. It's time to welcome on stage our main event of the afternoon. Sydney, are we ready to welcome our fighters onto the stage? Here we go. First of all, we introduce to my left, Australia's fan favourite. He'll be boxing out of the red corner. This man comes into the bout with a record 27 wins, 3 losses, 18 big wins coming by way of knockout. He is your former WBO Super Welterweight Champion of the World from right here in Sydney, Australia. Ladies and gentlemen, we welcome the Phoenix, Tim Tszyu. And now, boxing fans, time to welcome his opponent onto the stage. He'll be boxing to my right out of the blue corner. This man hails all the way from Texas in the United States of America. Coming into this bout with a record 28 wins and 1 loss, 22 big wins coming by way of knockout. He's a former unified welterweight champion of the world. Ladies and gentlemen, here he is. Let's make some noise for Errol the Truth Spence Jr. Gentlemen, here we go. George Rose, take it away. Face-off time here in Sydney. We need everybody here in the audience to make some noise. Here we go. They face it off. Sydney, let's hear it for our main event of the afternoon. Now come on, Sydney, let's hear it for these guys. 12 rounds, middleweight division, our main event on Sunday afternoon. Here we go, everybody, facing forward, our main event of the evening. Let's hear it for Tim Tszyu and Errol Spence Jr. What a face-off to get us underway here in Sydney. There we go, everybody. A round of applause. That was absolutely magnificent. Well done, George Rose. Brilliant content. Thank you very much for that, Sydney. That concludes things from here at centre stage. What a wonderful start to Fight Week. It is Errol Spence Jr. and Tim Tszyu. Get your tickets or order on pay-per-view.
Yeah, we cannot wait to see those two men collide on Sunday here in Sydney. That brings to a close our grand arrivals. Next stop, the open workouts you'll see live from midday on Thursday. Just a reminder, if you haven't already scanned the QR code, head to mainevent.com.au or you can access via KO Sports. But thanks very much for your company tonight. We look forward to having you join us right throughout the rest of Fight Night. Good night.
If you're going to pound the pavement, you might as well do it in the world's most beautiful city. Sydney, Australia, home of the Harbour Bridge, the Opera House, of Bondi Beach, and yes, this guy, Tim Tszyu. Prize fighters, they know all about the road. So far removed from the bright lights of fight night, these long hours spent alone, paying debts, and buying the future. Just as the legendary Manny Pacquiao came to Brisbane to learn you never bark at a hometown underdog.
And new champion of the world!
This time, it's an American icon, the great Errol Spence Jr, headlining in downtown Sydney for the fight of this son of a gun's life. Sunday, here at the famed Sydney Olympics compound, it's Tim Tszyu versus Errol Spence Jr. Errol Spence Jr. They call him the truth because everything about him's real. The hype, the work ethic, that suffocating pressure. How he clawed his way back from a terrifying car crash to unify world titles in boxing's glamour division. His only loss to Terence Crawford. Terence Crawford, that's it. The 5-time division champion, ranked the world's best pound for pound. And in the way only fighters comprehend, Tszyu's been chasing Spence for years. And suddenly, the Brave Dogs caught up with the largest of prime movers on the highway to boxing immortality.
When I put a pace on, they gas.
We can never forget Tszyu's brutal rise.
My name's Tim.
How he took out a murderous row of champions, underestimated every step of the way. How he suffered his own setbacks and is now ready to prove he was born for this. Because this is more than just a multi-million-dollar scrap. This is a life-changing, legacy-defining mega fight.
He's ready for the world!
Sunday, it's Tim Tszyu versus Errol Spence Jr. in the fight of the year. Only on Main Event.